Warm greetings from the High 10. It is Everyday Shenanigans on this Wednesday, October 14th, 2020. I would like to bring you said information pertaining to Breonna Taylor. If you need verification for the storyline, please log on to the Oprah magazine. Gayle King speaks to Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, in heartbreaking interview. I'm a million percent sure that nobody identified themselves, he told Gayle. In an interview that aired on CBS This Morning on October 14th, Gayle King sat down with Breonna Taylor's boyfriend Kenneth Walker for his first public interview. Walker told Gayle that he is a million percent sure the police didn't introduce themselves before breaking down the door to Taylor's apartment. In his first public interview since the tragic police shooting of his girlfriend Breonna Taylor, Kenneth Walker sat down with Gayle King on CBS Morning to recount the night Taylor was killed. During the sit-down, he explained that they were watching a movie in bed when they heard loud banging on the door. Walker told King that he and Taylor asked who was at the door several times but heard no answer. This is a detail that has been repeatedly contested in the months since the incident, as law enforcement insists they introduced themselves as policemen while executing a no-knock warrant to investigate Taylor's ex-boyfriend for narcotics possession. Walker and several witnesses, all but one, say otherwise. I'm a million percent sure that nobody identified themselves, he said. The couple then got up to answer as Walker, a licensed gun owner, retrieved his firearm. The police then broke down the front door and Walker fired a single shot because he says he believed they were intruders. In return, the three policemen conducting the raid, Jonathan Mattingly, Brett Hankinson, and Miles Cosgrove, fired a combined total of 32 shots. If it was the police at the door and they just said they were the police, me or Breonna didn't have a reason not to open the door to see what they wanted, Walker said. I don't think I've heard so many gunshots all at the same time. I've never been to war, but I assume that's what war probably sounds like. He went on to explain that once the shooting ended, he called both he and Taylor's moms to tell them about the situation, but he also called 911 for help. At the time, he still didn't know officers had conducted the raid. I wouldn't call the police on the police. That doesn't make sense, he said. It wasn't until Walker left the apartment that he realized law enforcement were the ones to fire upon himself and Taylor in the investigation. A policeman later told Walker was a miscommunication. This doesn't make any sense. He left the apartment. Okay. No narcotics were found in Taylor's apartment. In the months since Taylor's death, along with George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery's, they have it written incorrectly. Ahmaud Arbery has been at the center of a revitalized national Black Lives Matter movement, with thousands across the country calling for justice in Breonna Taylor's name. And though her family received $12 million in a wrongful death settlement from the city of Louisville in September, just one officer, Hankinson, was charged in connection to her killing. He was indicted on 3 counts of wanton endangerment for the shots that were not fired at Taylor, but the homes of the neighbor. To the world, she's just a hashtag, a picture, and all of that, Walker said. But to me, it was much more than a girlfriend, too. I think that's what I want the world to know the most. That was my best friend, the most important person pretty much to me on earth, and they took her. He added at the end of the interview, you probably wouldn't even know about it. If I didn't live, you probably wouldn't even know about Breonna Taylor. State Attorney General Daniel Cameron only recommended charges of wanton endangerment to the grand jury. An anonymous juror has since requested that recordings of the jury proceedings be released to the public and the jurors be allowed to speak to the media. And that is the said information from the Oprah magazine. Well, let me say this. I concur with his comment about Breonna just being a name. If he had also died in the shooting, it would have been just a local story that 2 people were in an apartment, one returned fire, and both were found dead in the apartment on a drug warrant. And as you see in this said interview, Mr. Kenneth Walker does not speak of Breonna being the shooter or Mickey Mouse or anyone else. So people can stop spreading the rumors that he said she did the shooting, because I definitely don't want to address it again after this said commentary today. It is a sad situation, what happened to her, but these things happen. Not the best, obviously. And when you have these terrible situations like this, here comes the rumors of who did what, who said what. So hopefully, like I said, after today, after this interview that aired this morning on CBS, all rumors will be dispelled about who did the actual shooting. He admits getting the gun. But the one thing I had a question about in my previous video, and I'm going to say it again today before I check out of here, how is it now that he was able to call his mother, Brianna's mother, and 911? So you mean to tell me the police kick down the door, he fires a shot, they return fire and shoot Breonna Taylor in the head several times, and she dies. He ran and hid as I said he did. See, some people don't listen. He ran and hid, and he made 3 phone calls, allegedly, to different sources, his mother, Brianna's mother, and the police. And then finally he comes out. Don't you all find something odd with this story? A girl is lying dead in a hallway, and no one walks through with a body cam to search the apartment to find Mr. Kenneth Walker somewhere in the said apartment. So is it because it became a murder investigation, they didn't walk through the apartment with body cameras? They then went and got another team or someone to walk in to then search for whatever the hell they were looking for. Gun, whatever. Because initially this was a drug raid. So no one goes in to search the apartment for drugs or a said person and a weapon. You only now hear he's made several phone calls, comes out, they put him in a car, and then they go in, and that's when you see the body cam footage on ABC News that they walked through, stepped over the dead girl, and then walked in the bedroom, looked under the bed, and found the gun. This is a whack story. I don't know police procedures as far as once a door has been kicked in, a person lies dead from gunshots from the police, what happens thereafter. But you would think that once you kick the door in, the police, you would then go into the apartment for the reason that you were there to serve the warrant in the first place. I just don't understand why they did not go in after they returned fire and walk through to see who was in there. They had artillery. They were geared up. But yet, this statement in the interview, Walker says he came out. And before that, he made several phone calls. What am I missing? What am I missing? Because this story makes no sense to me. And as I said, it was stated that once Miss Brianna was shot, then it was a murder investigation. So then what? You waited for somebody else to go in? Other officers? I'm confused. If any of you know the Kentucky law and procedures of this said case, please drop your commentary below because I'm utterly confused. But I am glad that he made the interview. He did the interview and dispelled all rumors about who shot the cop on that fateful night. I'm just glad it's been said. It's over with. As far as the jury panel, 2 wanting to come forward to talk, I don't know what it is they want to tell about the proceedings. If it's something they had a question about or something they didn't like, I don't know, because they're not able to speak because, as you know, those proceedings are kept secret. But I am curious to why the 2 jurors now want to come out and speak about the said information. Is it 5 minutes of fame, or they're questioning what went on during those proceedings? We will see. Thanks for watching. God bless all of you. Like, share, subscribe, drop your comments below. Mask up, America. Be safe. Have a prosperous week. And this is Everyday Shenanigans. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.